What was that song that you thought was our podcast song? By who? Okay. I'm going to tell her about that.
Hello.
Oh, did you hear that?
What did he say? I heard you ask, but I couldn't hear what he said.
Okay, so story time. So we went up to our friend's siblings' river house this weekend, and it was super fun. And so on the way there, we listened to the podcast, which was so fun. The kids loved it. They thought it was hilarious. And so anyway, but I was trying to set up a Spotify account for Jared on his phone so that we could use his to listen to it. And I don't know, when you make your Spotify account, you just have to add like 3 artists at least that you're interested in, and then 3 podcasts. So I just did it quick to get through there. And he really likes classic country, so I added a couple classic country people. So then when I tried to press play on the podcast instead, this country song started, and it was Time Marches On by, I think he said Tracy Bird. It's like, Time Marches.
Yes, I hate that song.
It starts playing. It's been playing for half a second. I have never seen so much pure joy on his face. He goes, "Is this your theme song? Nothing would make me happier."
Oh, no.
I was like, oh my gosh, like, calm down. He was like overjoyed at the thought of Time Marches. I kind of feel like it needs to be now. It's just instrumental at the beginning. It's like,
yeah,
or something. But I have never in my life seen him so happy. Oh, serious.
Sweet Jared.
But then we did listen, and oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And it just made me feel even more excited that we're doing this.
Oh, good. That makes me so happy. Well, happy Labor Day.
Oh my gosh. It was much needed. It was a good day. I'm glad you had today off.
Oh my gosh. You're right. It was so needed.
I saw you guys were swimming. Where were you?
My best friend who lives down in Saratoga Springs, she and her husband invited us over. That's the pool in their neighborhood.
Oh, fun.
It was a really nice pool, and it was so much fun. That was the first time Daisy ever enjoyed the water.
Oh, good.
So yeah, she was not happy at first. I swear, she just doesn't like water. She doesn't even like baths that much.
Oh, Emmy doesn't either. She's okay in the pool now, but baths, no. Doesn't like getting her little face wet.
Yeah, no, Daisy hates water on her face. So we've tried taking her swimming 2 other times, and she just was not having it. But I think this was the perfect time to go because it wasn't super sunny out, but it was still kind of hot. And then the water wasn't freezing cold when you first got in. It was the perfect temperature. So it took her probably about 20 minutes to kind of loosen up in the pool, but eventually, she started splashing around, and I was even able to dunk her under the water a couple times.
Oh my goodness.
And she was fine with that. So yeah, she ended up having a lot of fun, but it took a while.
How do you feel like our first episode went?
I thought it was good.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, I want to formally apologize to everyone for the smoke detector beeping. That was us. I'm like, oh my gosh, could there be anything more obnoxious? I'm so sorry. And yes, we're still figuring out the audio, so bear with us.
Yeah, we're going to be trying a few different apps, a few different ways to record. So if anybody has any suggestions, please let us know.
Yeah, because we can't be in person, but there's people that are not in person that I listen to together that sound fine.
They sound fine.
What are we doing? Sounds like we're on a long distance call, but it's okay. Mike didn't seem to care. They could hear everything and enjoyed it, so
good. Also, we have a corrections corner real quick.
Oh no.
I talked to Mom the other day, and she just wants the world to know that she does not hate animals. She just doesn't enjoy being around them and prefers not to have them in her house.
Okay.
So,
Let the
sorry, Mom.
So did she listen?
She did listen.
Oh my gosh, because we were joking, oh, our only listener is our mom, but then I was worried, like, does she have Spotify? Can she?
She does. I helped her set it up a couple months ago.
Oh, good. So what did she think?
She really liked it. She thought it was fun. She just did not appreciate us making fun of her. So
At the end.
yeah.
Oh.
She did also say she was like, I will never say I'll let you go on another phone call again.
Oh my gosh, Mom. Come on. You can roast us. We weren't even trying to roast you. It's endearing. Love it.
Oh.
For it. So please continue to say that. And just, we weren't trying to make fun of you, but if it would feel better to make fun of us, do it. Things that annoy you, although that doesn't annoy us. We love it.
Yes.
I'm sorry, though.
We do.
I
know.
Feel like you were being made fun of.
She was like, just leave me out of your podcast.
Oh, no. Like, she's the only listener.
I know.
So she can't be too embarrassed.
I know, Mom, if it makes you feel better, we got 11 listens on our first episode.
I knew that you could see that somehow, but I forgot to ask you. So, hey, that's more than I thought. I thought it was Sydney and us.
I know. I made Dan listen.
Okay.
And he liked it.
Jared was offended by me saying that I didn't think he would listen. He's like, what? So I guess he will be an avid listener. So glad to hear that.
Okay. Well, do you want to know what our story is on today?
Yes. I'm excited.
Just for you, Brittany, I decided to do a story on a cryptid this week.
Okay.
Since you know what they are now.
And again, let the record show, no one in my family, not even super smart Jared, knew what that was either. But then he had some reasoning why it was similar to, like, has the same cryptocurrency.
Of course he would know that.
The fact that it's like, well, now I don't even know. That's not helpful at all. But he had some explanation. But he didn't know what it was at first. He'd never heard of it. Anyway. Okay. Well, this is going to be wild. This is going to be interesting.
Oh, it's going to be great. Okay. So today's story is on the squonk.
How do you spell that?
Squonk. And Brittany, I have a request. You need to go on Google right now and look up pictures of this thing.
That's why I'm like, how do you spell it? Because I have to look it up immediately. Mm-hmm. Oh my word. It's just obviously going to be cartoon renderings, right?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, this is a very sad looking creature. He has tears. He or she. Tears coming out of his eyeballs.
Yes, Brittany, please describe what you're seeing for our listeners.
It kind of looks like a wrinkly potato with legs. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. But let me pull up some other. Oh, well, this picture. This looks like Snuffy from Sesame Street.
Snuffy? I don't know what Snuffy is.
Snuffy the Snuffleupagus. He's the
Oh, Snuffleupagus.
Oh my gosh. Well, not his body, but his face, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh wow, these are very interesting looking. Okay, well, tell me everything I need to know.
All right. The squonk lives in the hemlock forest of northern Pennsylvania. They do live elsewhere, but that is the kind of their main habitat, the forests of Pennsylvania. The first written account of the squonk is from the book Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods, which is kind of this fantasy field guide book by William Thomas Cox, who, fun fact, was the first state forester and commissioner of conservation in Minnesota.
Oh.
And yeah, so
he says that he has seen one of these.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the book describes squonk's origins is that it migrated from deserts to swamps and finally settled in the forests of Pennsylvania. And The scientific name for a squonk is a Lacrima corpus dissolvens.
Okay.
Yes. So you described it as what, a wrinkly potato with legs?
Yes.
That's a really good description, actually. Squonk is known as the ugliest cryptid.
Okay.
And in the book, which just sidebar, this book, I mean, it's like I said, it's a fantasy field guide. It has a lot of fearsome creatures in it, just like creatures from folklore. A lot of them are from like lumberjacks and hunters and people like that. And most of them are animals that it's like clearly these are not real. These are just fun little stories. And so that's kind of how Squonk originated was, well, the first written account of Squonk is from that book, Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods. I don't know if there are any accounts from before that because I think the book was written in like 1906 or something like that. I'm going to look it up real quick. Oh, 1910. Yeah, it was written in 1910. But in the book, it describes the squonk as this. It says, the squonk is of a very tiring disposition, generally traveling about at twilight and dusk. Because of its misfitting skin, which is covered with warts and moles, it is always unhappy.
Oh.
Hunters who are good at tracking are able to follow a squonk by its tear-stained trail, for the animal weeps constantly.
Okay, that explains. I only saw one picture with tears. Interesting.
When cornered, an escape seems impossible, or when surprised and frightened, it may even dissolve itself in tears.
Oh.
Some reports say that it has 6 legs and 5 eyes and is no larger than a seagull.
Oh my, that's tiny.
No, it's a little guy. And they are also said to have webbed toes just on their left foot, which causes it to only be able to swim in circles.
Oh.
So if somebody wanted to hunt a squonk, moonlit nights are the best time to do so, as they are slower because they're trying to avoid seeing their reflections in any illuminated bodies of water. Like, they know they're ugly. That's the thing. They know they're ugly and they don't want to see themselves. So they're always crying. They avoid water because, well, one, they can only swim in circles. But two, they also don't want to see their own reflections.
Oh, these
No.
need some like positive affirmation training. Like,
I know. Squonk, you are beautiful inside and out.
you don't know you're beautiful.
In cold weather, their tears freeze to cause a coat of ice over its entire body.
Yikes.
Yeah. And so if you're looking for one out in the winter, you can find it because its tears freeze on the ground. So you just see like a trail of tears along the forest floors. But it's really, really hard to catch a squonk. I don't think any has ever been caught because whenever someone has tried to catch it and succeeded in catching one, they'll just dissolve into a puddle of tears to escape.
Convenient.
I know. Okay, so there are next to no firsthand accounts of the squonk, unfortunately. I did find a little story in, okay, I had to dig deep for this one. It's from the Long Beach Sun, and it's from an issue from January 6th, 1932. Listen to this story. So the story is entitled Grandpa's Bedtime Story. Do you ever see a squonk, my boy? My grandpap Silas Flatbottom is asking me the other night. No, grandpap, I confess. I am never in my life seeing a squonk, and even if I do be seeing a squonk, I will not know that it is a squonk because I do not know a squonk from a skidunkus. Well, my boy, he resumes, if you are never seeing a squonk, I will tell you about the squonk I am capturing one time. Pull up your chair. A squonk, my grandpap tells me, is a shy nocturnal animal, and it has a habit of going through the woods weeping and wailing, much the same as many people do in going through life. Well, sir, my grandpap continues, the first experience I am ever having with a squonk is while I am out in the woods lumberjacking north of Walla Walla. At first, I think I am hearing a weeping baby, but I cannot figure out why a baby would be weeping way out in the woods, because I cannot imagine leaving a baby way out in these woods on a day like this, the temperature being close to 20 below zero. And you have your gun all cocked and ready? I inquire. No, my boy, he declares. I am never carrying a gun, as I figure it is in my way, your grandpap being a great broken field runner in those days. Well, I tell him, hurry up and expose your plate. Let's have the picture. I'm getting sleepy, grandpap. Well, sir, he goes on, it is not long until I discover what is making all this noise. All around me are squonk tracks. They are not much wider than railroad tracks, a squonk being no larger than a seagull and having 6 legs and 5 eyes, 3 forward and 2 aft of its beam. And when it cries, the tears flow all over its body. In cold weather, the tears freeze and form a coat of ice. In due time, the weight of the ice becomes so great that the squonk dies of exhaustion, and this is why a live squonk is never seen in captivity. Well, grandpap, I tell him, you will have to hurry up as it is past my bedtime. To make a long story, take a short detour, he resumes. I begin to make a noise like a squonk, and the squonk, imagining it has heard the wail of a lost mate, turns its steps towards me. Soon we come face to face. By this time, the squonk is wept so copiously that the tears have frozen over its 5 eyes and made it blind as a bat. Quick as a flash, I open a large gunny sack which I am carrying, and the blind, unsuspecting squonk walks into it. Yes, go on. What then? I inquired impatiently. 5 hours later, he concluded, I was destined to experience the greatest shock and grief of my whole life. When I got back to camp and opened the sack, I discovered that the squonk's coat of ice had melted, and the poor animal had weeped itself to death, leaving me nothing to show for my work but a damp sack. Well, I yawned, that's the dampest story I've ever heard. If you had put the squonk in a bottle, grandpappy, you would have kept him to the last drop. Nighty-night, you old codger. The end.
So this is in my neck of the woods, Walla Walla.
Yeah, Walla Walla. I know. So I was like, I guess their main habitat is in Pennsylvania, but they can branch out to I guess forests all over the place.
Okay. How did you first hear about this creature?
I actually don't remember. I mean, there have been lots of podcasts that have done episodes on it. Sinisterhood, Red Web, Witches, Murder, Magic, and Mystery, just to name a few. I mean, it's not the most well-known cryptid out there, but it's gaining in popularity.
Okay.
And so I've just heard it from all over the place. So I don't even remember the first place that I heard it from. But like I said, it is gaining in popularity. And do you know the band Genesis?
I don't think so.
It has Phil Collins in it.
What?
Yeah, I think Genesis is the band that kind of made Phil Collins famous.
Oh.
Yeah, he was the lead singer of it. Well, in 1976, on their album A Trick of the Tail, Genesis has a song called Squonk.
Oh my gosh.
Clearly, it did not go platinum because I had never heard of it. You haven't heard of it.
I need to hear this.
You'll have to listen to it after the podcast. It's a 5-minute long song. It is very long, in my opinion, but it's not bad. I'll just read you a few lines. Walking home that night, the sack across my back, the sound of sobbing on my shoulder. When suddenly it stopped, I opened up the sack, all I had, a pool of bubbles and tears. Just a pool of tears. Just a pool of tears. All in all, you are a very dying race, placing trust upon a cruel world. You never had the things you thought you should have had, and you'll not get them now, and all the while, in perfect time, your tears are falling on the ground.
Okay. I'm here reading YouTube comments on it.
What did they say?
I don't know who this is, but it says many Genesis followers interpret this allegorical song is about Peter Gabriel. Do you know who that is?
The name sounds familiar.
Other people are saying they relate to this song. This is interesting.
Peter Gabriel.
I'm trying.
Peter Gabriel is an English singer, songwriter, record producer, and activist. Oh, he was the original lead singer of Genesis.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was not a good decision, buddy, to leave the band because Phil Collins is very famous.
Oh, okay. The Squonk is such a beautiful rabbit hole to dive down, such a painfully underrated cryptid.
I agree.
Andrea, this sounds like something you would write.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I agree. I love Squonk.
I tried to play it, but it's not letting me, probably because we're on here, so I'll have to listen to it after.
Yeah.
Have to have a laptop with me each time so we can add in these things.
Yeah.
Like when we get to my TV corner or whatever, we have to have that audio. Oh, wait. Excellent song. Also famous for being the one that convinced them all that Phil was the new singer.
Nice. I did not know that.
Interesting. Then somebody said that's exactly what happened to Karen Carpenter, drummer who reluctantly took up singing lead. Didn't know that either. Interesting. Okay, well, again, kids are going to love hearing this and learning all about the Squonk.
Also, listen, we have to go to this someday, but in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, they have a festival called Squonkapalooza.
Oh my gosh, Andrea. Squonkapalooza. Well, I just need to go down a rabbit hole and see all about this festival now.
I know. Okay, so it's apparently a one-day festival. And the last one, I think they just do it once a year, and the last one was August 26th. So it's just one day long.
Oh.
And on the website, squonkapalooza.com, says Squonkapalooza is an all-ages festival celebrating the squonk and other creatures of Appalachian and Americana folklore and cryptozoology.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wonder what kind of turnout it gets each year.
I know. But yeah, it has like different speakers. A lot of the speakers are like different podcasts or different, I don't know, paranormal investigators or whatever, who know about cryptids and cryptozoology and stuff like that. And they'll come talk about the squonk, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
And they have a bunch of vendors, food trucks and stuff like that, and they have like squonk merch.
Oh my god.
Like, it looks so fun.
Squonk t-shirts, and I need to get you one.
I know. Oh my gosh, I would die if I had a squonk t-shirt. I would dissolve into tears.
Here's another comment. This song was inspired by Led Zeppelin's Kashmir, and I'll tell you a little personal story about how this song improved that one for me. I used to really not like Kashmir, but when I first found out this was inspired by it, my opinions on both songs changed in a good way. I now dearly love both Squonk and Kashmir.
Oh,
Loves that song, but I don't I've never thought about it.
Yeah, you'll have to look at Squonkapalooza's Instagram page too. Absolutely. It's pretty cute. But yeah, that's the Squonk. This was also a pretty short story. There's not tons of information about the Squonk. Squonk isn't like the Loch Ness Monster or Bigfoot, where there are tons of people out there saying, I saw it. I saw it with my own two eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I honestly don't even really consider Squonk a cryptid. Sorry, that's a hot take, but I consider it more of a fearsome creature. And fearsome creatures are more just like American folklore. Clearly, this isn't a real thing. It's just a fun story kind of animal.
Okay.
So I don't think anybody out there really believes that Squonk.
It's just a fun story to believe in.
Yes.
So what is a cryptid that you do think is real? Do you think any are real?
I don't know. I am undecided on Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are a lot of people out there who they believe that Bigfoot is Cain. You know, like from Cain and Abel.
I have never heard that, but yeah, he was known for his a lot of body hair, apparently. So,
Yeah, and I don't know. I think somewhere in the Bible it says that he was like cursed to walk the earth forever or something like that. I don't know.
what?
And so a lot of people think that Bigfoot is Cain just wandering around
Oh my,
doing his thing.
Googling it now. Oh my gosh, this is even on LDS Living.
No. Oh my
Is
gosh.
Cain Bigfoot the truth behind 5 Latter-day Saint folklore stories?
What does it say?
A whole podcast on this. It says these are Mormon myths. I don't even know these. Oh, this is an entire rabbit hole. Myth number 1: General authority tells Mick Jagger about the gospel.
What the heck?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I guess it. I think this is saying it's true. The elder Gene R. Cook met him on a plane. I'll have to look into that. Oh, geez. Let's see. Okay, 3. Bigfoot is Cain. Abraham Smoot recorded the following. After early church apostle David W. Patton described an encounter he had with Cain in 1835.
What?
As as I was riding along the road on my mule, I suddenly noticed a very strange person walking beside me. His head was about even with my shoulders as I sat in my saddle. He wore no clothing but was covered with hair. His skin was very dark. I asked him where he dwelt, and he replied that he had no home, that he was a wanderer in the earth and traveled to and fro. He said he was a very miserable creature, and his mission was to destroy the souls of men. Ooh.
All right.
Entry was included in Spencer W. Kimball's The Miracle of Forgiveness. Interesting. Oh, then there's the 3 Nephites. Okay, we've all heard that one.
Yes.
But I want to find the scripture about Cain roaming the earth, because that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought there was one, but I don't know. Maybe it's just that. Maybe I'm just thinking about that account from that guy in the 1800s, but
Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy. So who knows? Maybe Bigfoot is Cain.
Okay, let's see. This is just from Googling. So I'm not actually looking in the scriptures, but it said Cain said to the Lord. So who knows? I don't know what translation this is. My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me.
Yes, I do remember that. That is in the scriptures because then the Lord says, like, no, like he almost, I don't want to say blesses Cain, but he tells Cain, like, nobody's going to kill you. I will make sure nobody kills you.
Oh.
So maybe that's his curse that nobody's allowed to kill him and that he lives forever being a miserable creature. I don't know.
Oh, here's the KJV version.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, virgin. Oh, okay. And from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth.
Oh,
Come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Interesting.
that's very interesting.
So many rabbit holes we could go down.
Mm-hmm. Seriously, we'll just have to do an episode on that
I know.
down the line. Actually, I do almost want to do one of the ideas that I had for an episode is just telling stories about the 3 Nephites, like firsthand accounts that people have had.
Oh my gosh.
That would be interesting.
Yes, it would.
But yeah, I mean, I do have plans of doing a Bigfoot episode someday. So we'll have to talk about that more. But yeah, rabbit holes.
I know. Well, I don't even know how to explain this right. We should definitely have Jared on for this, but we both thought of you after you told us the Geronimo story. Have you ever listened to the podcast? Oh, now I'm forgetting what it was called. 99% Invisible?
No, I've never heard of it.
Jared used to listen to it all the time, and he even has a t-shirt from this one story, and people always ask him, like, is that a sports team? What is there? There was this, so I don't even know how to explain it. His shirt has a picture of a cat on it, and it's called a Ray cat. And it was an idea, this theory that people had. They were trying to think of a way to alert like people 10,000 years in the future to like high levels of radiation. And they're like, by then our languages might be different. There might not be a way to like alert people that there's a lot of radiation in these certain areas. So one of the theories was that they would like, I don't know if this is the right word, but inject radiation into cats. And so whenever a cat that was like bright green, you would run away because that meant that there was radiation.
What the heck?
Oh, Jared is going to love that you haven't heard this story. Yes, you'll have to chat with him about it. He just thinks it's the most hilarious thing ever. And he's even got like his t-shirt of it. It's so you could Google the Ray Cat.
Oh my gosh. The Way Cat?
Ray Cat. Like
Ray Cat. Okay, yes, like okay, like radioactive rays or whatever.
Yeah, so funny. So random. You can add that to your list of funny stories.
Ooh, the Ray Cat solution.
Yeah. Oakland Ray Cats. That's the shirt he has. And people are
oh my gosh.
What is this?
Yeah, I gotta watch this documentary. I need to listen to this podcast.
It is very so we ended up listening to that on the drive also after we listened to our episode.
That's awesome. Okay, Ray Cats, we're doing it someday. That'll be Jared's guest starring episode.
Yeah. Come on as the expert, the Ray Cat.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, should we do Brittany's rubbish corner?
Guys, I'm eating junk and watching rubbish. You're gonna come out and stop me.
It's gonna be so perfect every time. It describes my day-to-day routine.
Oh, I love it. Okay. Well, what do you have for your rubbish corner today?
Okay, well, as I mentioned last week, Virgin River, the newest season, starts September 7th. And correction corner, I said that Mel, the lead character, is a doctor. She's not. She's a nurse practitioner. I think I just got joke. But also, it does really bother me on the show because everyone, even Mel, refers to her as a nurse when she's a nurse practitioner, NP. And I'm like, there is a big difference. Like,
there is.
Anyway, so that starts on the 7th. And I can't even tell you how excited I am. You need to watch it. You need to binge. Oh my gosh. It's so good. So I'm just looking forward to that. And in the meantime, I actually haven't been watching as many shows. I've been trying to catch up on all my podcasts. But I have been, okay, this is so random. In the background, I've kind of been like, when I'm like shopping on my phone or like doing groceries on my phone or whatever. So I'm like kind of half watching. Do you remember the show Designing Women?
Yes.
I've been watching that.
What?
I know. Like, I think it's just like nostalgic and like bringing back memories. Like, I don't remember anything from that show except that sometimes grandma would watch it or it would just be on. And just like the hair and the outfits and everything, just like, it's just, I'm just nostalgic. It was 80s, but it just kind of still reminds me of my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I like their cute Southern accents. And anyway, so I just have had that on in the background lately and I'm loving that. And then I also just started, I've watched a lot of it here and there. My friend Tori always calls it Schitt's Creek, so I'll just do that too.
I love that show.
So I have been watching that a little bit as well because I've never just watched all of it straight through. Then I was just telling Jared, I was just laughing so hard during, I don't know if it's like the second or third episode when Johnny's trying to get the town sign replaced. And then David is supposed to be interviewing for his job at the grocery store and he's wearing those pants that, like are really loose and they hang down, you know? And he's like, yeah. What are you wearing? Colostomy pants? to the interview. I know everyone like loves Moira and there's so many good characters, but Johnny might be my favorite. I just love him so much. Anyway.
I love that show.
Yes, but I will have much to say when Virgin River, when it comes out. And I'm going to want to talk about it and I don't want to spoil anything for you. So I don't know how we should handle this. At some point you should.
Okay, listen. Dan has class all day tomorrow and Thursday. I will sit down with Daisy and we will watch Virgin River
Oh my gosh, you got
tomorrow and Thursday.
I mean, there's like, I think this is the 4th season, so there's a lot.
Oh, I know, but I'll be able to, we can talk about some stuff by next week.
I can handle this. That's true. We don't have to record till next week. So are we going, I mean, we could change this at any time, but are we aiming for Fridays to be our day, or was that just kind
I
of,
think so.
okay.
Yeah.
Podcast Fridays. I like it.
Podcast Friday.
At least none of my regulars debut on Friday, or not debut.
Yeah, very few of mine do.
So that's kind of fun. Yeah. Like I said, I've just been trying to catch up on my podcasts. So some of my favorites, I mentioned them last week, or some of them last week, but the one I've been binging this week is Correct Opinions, Trey Kennedy. I'm like, well, now I'm almost caught up. I'm on the most recent episode, but I was like 5 behind. So I was trying to listen to that. And then I'm wanting to catch up on Nateland, which I never sent you the Bigfoot episode. I will send you that
rude.
because I know you I know you would love it.
Yes.
And this guy that they have on there is like, I mean, he talks about it like it's 100% real. So you'll enjoy it.
Okay. I'm so excited.
Anyway, yeah. So right now I'm just kind of in a dead zone waiting for my shows. Another one that I love is Cobra Kai. I get fired up about that show. It is so good. Have you watched it?
No, but that's because I've never seen The Karate Kid.
Okay, you don't have to have seen them. I think I saw maybe bits and pieces of them as a kid, maybe when Dad watched them. It is hilarious. Like when I first heard it, I'm like, karate show? Ew, why would I watch that? But then somebody told me that it was funny, so I was like, okay. So I don't know how much you know from the original movies or whatever. Like Jared kind of had to fill me in a little bit, but there's the 2 main boys. It's very confusing to me because they're Johnny and Danny, or Daniel, and I'm like, I can't differentiate those names, Johnny and Danny. But anyway, so there's like the brown-haired one and the blonde-haired one.
Yeah, I know the blonde kid is the villain.
Yes. So he's super mean to Daniel and he bullies him and all this. Anyway, so the show is like right away, it just jumps in and it shows you present day. It's all the same characters and it shows you present day, like Johnny, the blonde guy, the villain, his life. And he's just like this deadbeat. Like he's just kind of like a guy that goes around and like does handiwork for people here and there. He can't hold down a job. Like
he peaked in middle school.
Yes. And he's like estranged from his son and I don't think he was ever married. Anyway, he's just like a deadbeat. And then Daniel LaRusso, he's like super successful car. He owns a car dealership. And so Johnny just like sees his face all over town on billboards and he's just like, I mean, he hates the guy and he's just a total deadbeat. Like he drives this like beat up car and he's just like, I don't even like, he's just so funny. Like, even though you know he's kind of like a bad guy, you just love him for some reason. Anyway, so this is kind of spoiler alert, but in the first episode, he's like sitting on a curb at a gas station eating a slice of pizza. That's his dinner. He's had a really crappy day and he sees these kids like get into a fight and they're kind of picking on this one kid. And you'd think that the show would be like, and then they redeem Johnny's character because he jumps in and defends the kid. No, he just sits there and watches and he's like, don't scratch my car, or something like that. I love my car. And he's like, guys. Anyway, but eventually he kind of steps in, I think because of his car, I'm not sure. And he like can still do all his old karate moves that he hasn't practiced since like high school. Anyway, so then that kid wants him to teach him, and then it ends up he opens a dojo, and then
so he becomes like Mr. Miyagi.
Yes, but it's like he is like super good at karate, but he's this terrible influence on these kids. Like, so I apologize for swearing, but he's like, karate's bad. And he's like, he wears this little bandana, and he's like, want to be bad? Join my dojo. And he's just like such a loser, but you just like root for him. And then like his feud is ongoing with the car dealership guy, and then he opens a dojo. It's just like, it's so funny. It's so good. And it's also heartwarming as the seasons go on. And there's a lot of like teen drama also. I know a lot of people like their teen drama shows because there's all the karate kids and then they get in fights together. Sorry if I spoiled a lot of it, but that one, I think the final season is coming out soon-ish. I'm like out of breath. When I start talking about TV, I'm like, okay, so like I'm like pacing in my room. Here's what happens. I'm like getting all excited. I think I need to rewatch it. I know a lot of people watch it with their kids. There is some slight inappropriate stuff, but not a lot. So I feel like I could watch it with Brady. He's almost 13 and I could like screen some of the stuff, but
Yeah.
there's really like not a lot. So I'd say it's okay for teens mostly. There's a few things you might want to edit out, but anyway, so waiting for that to come out and Virgin River in a couple days, and then of course Golden Bachelor, like we already talked about. Oh, development on that. One of the ladies is from here. She is.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was gonna say I looked at all the ladies.
She's from Benton City, and apparently she's like a radio personality. My friend Heather, she's my Bachelor bestie and my neighbor and church friend. Anyway, we watch it together every week. But she was like, I remember hearing her on the radio. So anyway, that's kind of fun.
That's crazy.
I am like praying she makes it to the final four because that means she gets a hometown. So then it would be here probably.
You're just lurking in the background.
Absolutely. I will be at that airport waiting, docking for those producers to land. I will be out in Benton City. They'll probably throw a parade because nothing happens there. It's like a tiny town, but it's like only like maybe 10, 15 minutes from here. Anyway, maybe more like 20 actually. I never go there, so I don't really know, but it's pretty much here. Anyway, because our county is Benton. But anyways, yeah, so that's kind of a fun development. And I just have this feeling that she will be Final Four. She just seems really cool. So anyway, man, I get excited. I talk a mile a minute.
No, I have the perfect meme I'm gonna put on Instagram.
Oh no.
Talking about your it's gonna be, have you seen, I know you haven't seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but it's Charlie Day standing in front of like a cork board with like hundreds of pictures and he's like he has like a cigarette.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That is me. I'm like, okay, so here's all the characters.
Brittany talking about her shows.
Oh my gosh, yes. Brittany talking about her shows. Oh my gosh. Or your TV addict friend talking about this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That is so me. Also, shout out for your Geronimo meme that you made. That was hilarious.
That's the first meme I've ever made. I was so proud of it. I was like, Dan, come look.
You should be. And also, I have Hattie's picture right here. I just keep forgetting to take a picture.
Okay.
To send it to you, and I couldn't because we left for the weekend. Anyway. And she just did it in pencil, like on notebook paper. So it's nothing crazy, but it is cute. Maybe I'll take a picture.
Still. Yeah, just take a picture. Post it on Instagram.
Man, I'm a little embarrassed of how worked up I just got over Cobra Kai. No, it's good though, because my heart is racing. I was pacing my room. I went to my Zumba class tonight, but it was canceled because of Labor Day. So instead I went I didn't get a workout in, so this will count for something. His little buck teeth are so cute.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I mean, she did it in like 3 minutes, but
okay. Well, should we wrap this up?
Yes, this is so fun. This is just what I needed today. A little bright spot to end my day before we get back into the routine tomorrow.
I don't know how to end the podcast. Apparently, you need to do a call to action for your listeners.
Oh.
Wait, I want to see this. Oh my gosh.
like asking them to like send in like questions or voice memos or like something like that.
Wait. This picture is so cute.
It is very cute.
The buck teeth.
I know, little hat.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, Hattie, I love her so much.
Okay,
call to action. All right. Oh, I almost forgot announcement. Yeah, we are now available on more than just Spotify. We're also available on Amazon Music, Pocket Casts, and iHeartRadio.
Yay.
So if you prefer listening on one of those rather than Spotify, go for it. We are now up and running on those 3 apps. So listeners out there, please rate, review, and subscribe.
Yes. Give us a...
Someone gave us a 5-star review.
What?
I don't know who, but we have 1 5-star review on Spotify. So thank you to whoever did it. It was probably Mom.
That's exciting.
Actually, she'll probably say that she doesn't know how.
Yes.
And Mom, that's not meant to be a roast. We're not making fun of you. We're stating facts.
I know. I was thinking about that the entire episode. Like, I feel so bad that she feels like we're making fun of her. Also, here's what our call to action can be. Tell us if you listened to the episode, because I want to know who these 11 listeners are.
I know. I wish there was a way I could see who it was, but I can't. And we have 5 followers on Spotify.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
It's so fun to see our little graphic up there. It's like, this is legit.
I know.
Even if you don't want to tell us what you thought, which would still be really fun, but just say, I listened. We want to know, like, who's out there listening. It's so fun to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But also,
yes, please do that.
Tell us what you thought, what your favorite part was.
So listen, and then rate, review, and subscribe.
Yes.
To the Curiosity Shop. We would really appreciate it.
So fun.
So yeah, should we try our outro again?
I know, but if it's gonna make Mom upset every time,
no, she'll be fine. Mom, we are paying an homage to you because we love you. Dang it!
It is one of our favorite things about you. It's true.
Yeah, I would be so sad if you never said that in another phone call.
I know. And like we said, we both have things that we say all the time too. Like, has their things, and that's yours.
Yes, and we love it. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Well, I'll let you go.